like to call the order the town board. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee Stackhouse?
Present.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee Frierson?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. Mr. Brubner, would you honor us with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Are there any agenda changes for this evening? Hearing none, I would like to thank our deputy. What, is that your title? You get to be the deputy clerk, the fill-in clerk, the recording secretary, SOS hero, Shiro. Thank you for stepping in tonight.
You are welcome.
So, the roll for approving the agenda?
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Stackhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 5, any citizens' comments this evening? Yes, sir.
I found on the internet a great recipe for making sausage, and I'll be happy to send you a link if you'd like one.
Thank you so much, Gunnar. I would like that very much. Any other citizens' comments this evening? I love our meetings. Okay. Moving on, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on July 15th, 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Pick one. Motion to second. Discussion?
Just gotta figure out who seconded it.
Right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Stackhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 7, authorized bills for payment for July. Trustee Fisher.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for approval of payment of bills in the amount of $102,975.60.
Second.
Second by Trustee Stackhouse. Any discussion? Questions? None? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Stackhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item is CJA grant updates. COO Usher.
I was trying to get the final total I just submitted, but the report went out, July 30th. And I believe we still have another report to go in the next 2 months. And, that's basically it I have for the CJA grant. We're just waiting for approval of that last report we just sent in, and once approved, they'll just send us a check.
Awesome. Any questions or?
Sounds, the way she said it, that sounds really easy, but I know it's a process.
Thank you.
The way you said it, I'm like, if it was that easy.
Yeah,
it would be
if
wonderful.
it could only be that easy, right?
I know.
I just want to say out loud, like, how deeply grateful I am. I sit around the tables with the other leaders and the headaches and the frustrations, and Sandra just figures it out. It blows my mind how she just does it, and sign here, and we get the check, and
Great. That's
So.
good.
kudos.
Thank you.
Okay, so long as you've got the stage, item 9 is new bank account updates with Wintrust.
I wasn't here last meeting, but, we are completed with phase 1, which is, getting the account open and making our deposits, completed form for online credit card accepting payment machine, which we do have the payment machine in our office. And this week, we're gonna test it out for the very first time. There are different categories that I wanted to try out to kind of identify which payment an individual is making for, like either the Zinnia flats or passports. So that will help us out in identifying where the payment should be allocated. Phase 2 is going over all the open checks that's with PNC that we're processed. Our last payment for the PNC bank account as far as writing checks off of will be the end of this month. We'll work on transferring, funds from PNC over to Wintrust, and, just going over again all the open checks. The goal is to have PNC closed by the end of this year, and we'll be totally at Wintrust after this.
Awesome. Any questions? Okay.
And I'm so happy to say also we got the deposit machine. I just gotta get it set up.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. Item 10, proposal to support rebuilding together in Zion discussion. So this kind of goes hand in hand with another conversation that I want to bring up to share with you, and then make it an item on the agenda for next month's meeting. It was brought up to me by Adriana Ortiz, who is our Chief Program Officer, right? Did I
Yes.
say that right? Good, thank you. That a number of the townships, almost all of them, have increased their emergency assistance funds to help support families a little bit better. And Mother's Trust and Salvation Army have both increased. Salvation Army went up to $600 per household. And Adriana asked if we could do the same. Right now we're at $400 per family. And the way that it works is if somebody comes in with a crisis situation, whether it's rent or utilities, or their car broke down and so they're going to lose their job, right? The domino effect situations. So long as they don't get any other assistance, if they're on TANF or any other government funds, they can't qualify for emergency assistance. That's when we use the disaster relief funds if it's a qualifying situation. But so the first time around they get the largest amount. Then the second time around they get
$250.
well. So it stepped down. Yeah, we would need to relook at those numbers too.
Exactly.
And then the third time, and it's every 18 months, so they can't get it more than every 18 months. And they get 3 qualifications at a step-down level, and then they don't qualify for emergency assistance anymore. We do still help them and connect them with other resources to be able to help them. And then an individual or household that gets emergency assistance from us, they have to go through the financial class through Community Partners for Affordable Housing in order to get that money. So we give them a little bit of education. It alleviates their emergency to hopefully keep them housed, right, or whatever the situation is. But Adriana was hoping that we could raise that amount to $600 to be able to help a household. So we can, if any thoughts now, or I'll put it on the agenda for next month. But that brings me to the question so I had brought up last month the proposal to support rebuilding together in Zion. And what I asked was that whatever we give for emergency assistance, if we could provide that for the number of households that Rebuilding Together serves. So I think this year they served 5 households. 2 of them were new roofs. One of the houses that's actually waiting for funding, it's close to $10,000 that they're putting into it. So us providing this amount, it really is just a token of appreciation. But it definitely, I mean, if you think about the ripple effect of one house in one block, in one neighborhood, in one community, it's repairs that the family would never, ever, ever get to do. I mean, there's no way. They don't have the money to do it, or the resources, or they'll call in a contractor for cheap who will do it at low level, where the contractors that Rebuilding Together calls in, they work directly with the city to make sure that everything is done correctly and well, right? They do it right the first time. So I thought instead of trying to do a grant amount, it made sense for as many houses as they do, we would give them whatever our emergency assistance allotment is for that. So this last year was 5 houses. And if and I would like to hold off one more month and have that conversation, because it could end up being, right, if we were willing, actually, just to say out loud, I don't think it's actually a vote. I think it's just read into the minutes, because with general assistance, I think it's just at the discretion of the supervisor, I'm pretty sure. But I really want your guys' voice and support. I don't want to use that, right? But so just to say, so actually, if we could bring it up for a vote that to support Rebuilding Together in the allotment of whatever emergency assistance allocation is at the time of the cutting of the check. If we could do that.
Did Rebuilding Together ask for assistance?
They did not ask for assistance, but they made it clear that the communities that they work with, they find ways to help support them, both with manpower, with support, with finances, so. So no, they did not ask for it, but they made it clear that they would really appreciate it.
Why couldn't you just do this anyway? Especially if they come to you, or if the homeowner comes to you and says, I really appreciate this help, and we still need a little bit more funding to complete the project, because there might be some projects that are fully funded, and
They're all fully funded. I mean, Rebuilding Together won't take on a project unless they can fund it.
oh, well then, why would they need our assistance if they are?
Because the funding comes from all the different avenues, right? So they get the pot of money, and then they go out and they get all the applications, and they go to each of the homes and they look at the applications. So it's kind of like us, like we don't budget, we budget and then we go out and do the work. And so, but yeah, and personally, the reason I wouldn't want to is because do it that way is because if the family had to come in and apply for emergency assistance in order to get the Rebuilding Together funds, it just adds like more layers of red tape to it. And what if the household said they get the repairs, but like it's a choice between their food and their medicine or their utilities, and so they have to come to us and then we can't help them because they got help in the last 18 months with the house. Where this is more of a grant to Rebuilding Together to help support ongoing projects.
Okay, so you'll know that they have funding for 5 projects and will contribute to those projects.
I want to go backwards. So they did 5 houses this year.
Yeah.
And so then we would send them a check of support for Rebuilding Together that equals those 5 houses. So it wouldn't be pay it forward, because I want to keep, one year we did 17 houses. And the impact that had on our community was huge. Yeah, and so as many as they're able and willing to do, I would like to be able to support that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very supportive of Rebuilding Together. But if there were other nonprofit organizations that also wished for some help from taxpayers, would they be able to approach you with requests?
I would think, depending on the situation, right? If there was something, I mean, if I don't know of another organization that dumps this much money into an entire,
Sure,
one
yeah,
house.
yeah.
So I think it's an easy case to be able to say the reason that we do this is because we're a partner with them and they're fixing our houses, and it's health and safety, it's quality of life. So, yeah, and I think we've done that, when different organizations have come in and asked, and we've kind of waited out and said yes or no, or as a team, and so, yeah.
I think my questions are kind of along the same lines in terms of, I understood the grant part, like we've done with some of the other organizations in town. I guess what threw me off was connecting it to the disaster recovery, because you're saying that this goes directly to the organization, not to the homeowner, correct?
So the funds that we would give would go directly to Rebuilding Together,
Okay,
not, correct.
and then,
So, but they couldn't be emergency assistance funds, right? They would have to, we would take them out of the health and, the health and, Beverly, what is that?
you said disaster recovery?
The healthcare grant.
Yeah, or we could, my thought was that we would take it out of the healthcare grant, because it's going directly to help residents with the repairs. There you go, yes.
And it's under community support also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, so would this disqualify the homeowner for subsequent assistance?
That's why I would do it this way, so it wouldn't disqualify the homeowner.
Okay.
Any other questions or thoughts, or?
Well, that was basically, that was along the line of my question is that these funds would not impact the funds that we have set aside for residents who are applying for emergency assistance.
That's correct, it would not.
Okay, so this is coming from another
Line item.
fund,
Mhm.
but the amount that you want to grant would be equivalent to what we would give to the household for emergency assistance, is what you're saying.
Which would not even touch any of the repairs, right? So we wouldn't give it because we wouldn't fix it. Right, so we can only provide emergency assistance if it alleviates the emergency. $600 for a new roof would not alleviate an emergency. Rebuilding Together can do it, and then it's just kind of another way. It's kind of, so like one of the situations we've had for a very long time is that if a resident has a member of their household pass away, we can't help with burial or anything like that, and it's a huge amount. So we were able to figure out, so what we tell the resident to do is pay for the funeral, not your utility bills, and then come in and we can assist you with your utility bills because you couldn't pay them because of the funeral. So we found a way to kind of work that and still be able to help people. And this is kind of the same thing. It's a way to be able to help the organization and the family without the implications and staying within the guidelines of general and emergency assistance.
Interesting.
Right?
I mean, I'm very favorable with helping them. I just want to do it the right way.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Are you looking at, okay, you mentioned 17 houses. Are you looking at a cap of how many that we would contribute to in a year?
That's a good idea.
Well, it looks like it's just a contribution to the organization because
Right.
because all of the taxpayer funding is gonna help Zion residents because none of the funding we give to them is gonna go to other communities. It's gonna just go to the projects that they have here in Zion.
Well, but it'll be retro, right? So like this year they did 5 houses.
Oh, I
right?
see.
So it's
gonna be
retro, it's not future.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like getting the account and then we'll do it that way.
Okay, so, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If they are fully funded, then why would we need to provide
Well,
assistance?
so just for the record, they're 100% not fully funded. We have one house right now that the township was working on that they can't move forward with it to finish it this year because they aren't fully funded. And they get funds from communities and organizations and Home Depot and
Okay.
other ones. So they're not fully funded, but they work each year to get fully funded with donations.
So I guess my understanding with that was they were fully funded with what they expected the project to be, but some have overruns and additional repairs that are needed that exceed what was originally budgeted. Is that?
That's exactly what happens with them.
Okay.
Almost always.
Have we looked at any other partners that we could maybe do some sort of matching?
I would love to continue to do that, right? So I got an email from City of Hope. They brought out volunteers last year, and they want to continue to bring out volunteers. So I mean, the dream is that we get the whole community engaged with this again to make it something big the last Saturday in April. So, and just to say out loud, the Point Church in Winthrop Harbor, they have done, since we started it, every single year, they adopt a house. They have never stopped doing that, so.
Yeah, I mean, our church actually combines with a few others to do the same kind of assistance. Probably not the same level because I think they might have more skilled labor. But we do painting and simple house repairs and landscaping.
You
and
do that
things
with
like
with the other project though, with the.
Yeah, Helping Hands.
Helping Hands, yeah. Yeah. Any thought, is there anybody that would be willing to make a motion to this regard?
I thought we were just discussing today and bringing it for next month.
No, this was, so for this, we had discussion last month and we were bringing it up today. Oh, because I had said that, but yeah, because you said that, Sherry.
It's
Yeah,
recorded.
you know what, we could hold off and do both at the next meeting, that would be fine.
Okay.
So, although, just to give you a heads up, at the next meeting, I want to bring all of the volunteers, and I know that last year it's a lot, and I weighed it out, do we do it at the festival, and I really think it's important that they are validated and appreciated at a board level. I think it matters a lot to them, but I promised Sandra, and through Sandra Collette, like if we would keep it to like 20 minutes so that we had the rest of the meeting to be able to finish the other stuff. But I think it matters a lot if we want.
That's also recorded, Sherry.
Yes, okay, good. Sandra will time me, so, right. Gibby, is that thing working? No, I'm kidding. And then Sonalita's got one too, so yeah, I'm double hit. And so, but that would be fine, we could discuss both of these next month and do one or the other. Are there any other questions or concerns that you guys want me to get answered before next month's meeting about either? thing? Okay, cool. That would be wonderful. All right, then moving on, we'll go to the assessor's report.
Good evening. So, we turned our books into the county, and we were waiting on our factor and a publishing date, and so they actually contacted me this morning, and we got our factor. It's a 9.95, and we are publishing on February the 4th. So, last day for second payment to be paid on taxes, and we're publishing then, and then it'll be 30 days from there. So October the 6th will be the last day to file an appeal, if they're looking to appeal. So we're really proud about getting that factor down, because you know, we know that a lot of townships' factor has gone up because of the increase in values. So
I'm sorry, did you say 9.95 or
9.95, yes. So in comparison to last year, which was 12.16, so.
That's what I was.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, so we're pretty proud of that. That was a really good accomplishment, especially with all the sales that we've had here, and, you know, the abundance of values increase in values because of the abundance of sales. So we're still working hard. We're still working hard. We want to, you know, continue to get that down, and as we proceed. There was a bill that was approved for the surviving spouses of disabled veterans, and that was approved last year, I want to say. So there has been an update, and the criteria that will need to be met for them to qualify annually. Mainly, what they are looking for is to be able to make sure that we are verifying that the surviving spouse has not remarried, else their exemption will not be granted. So just contact our office, because, you know, we can go through the specific details of what that may look like, because everybody's situation may be a little different and things, but bottom line, we are going to require the surviving spouses to verify that they are not remarried, but we do verify other information as well. And so, why are you looking at me like that?
So what you're saying is we are like validating senior shacking up, so that they don't lose the money.
If they're shacking up,
Living in
it's
sin.
fine. If
I
they
know, they can live in
remarry,
sin, they just can't get married.
right.
That's so funny.
No different than the tax code.
What's that?
No different than the tax code.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, a friendly reminder that the second installment of the property taxes is due on September the 4th, and we do not accept payments in our office, but you can save postage and make a payment via e-check online through the Lake County Treasurer's Office. You can pay at the bank, Old National Bank. Gosh, I can never remember the name of it. I'm sorry. Old National Bank is one of the locations that you can pay in person. You can look on the Treasurer's website, and they have a list of other ways that you can make that payment. So we just want to remind you of that for those that are, you know, have a payment due. September the 4th is the date. And in the community, we will, the Assessor's Office, we will be hosting a workshop on September the 4th. So a lot happening on September the 4th. At 6:00 p.m. at the Zion Library to discuss the assessment process and how property values are determined. I have flyers in the back. Oh, I didn't give you guys flyers, but I have flyers in the back on the wall, so you guys can pick up one and share it with people. Anybody wants me to email it to them. This is what it's looking like. And it just has the date, time, location. Same thing that I just said, how property values are determined, and understanding your assessment notice. We would like to see a good, you know, group of people come out, because we want to make sure that we're truly educating. That's always been, you know, my goal and my desire, is to make sure that people hear it straight from me and not from anyone else, and they can ask me the questions that they need to ask, and I'll be glad to answer them. And with the assessment notices going out. This is, I feel like, gonna be the perfect time to be able to get clarity and things like that. And we'll have examples so they can, you know, see what it looks like, you know, as we talk through it. And then when theirs comes in the mail, you know, they'll be able to understand when they're reading it and things like that. And then if they have any questions, they can, you know, come by and see us and give us a call, and we'll be glad to make sure that they have a true understanding. So, you know, share the information. I've shared it on social media. The library has it up on their website, in their, also in their, on their bulletin board and things. So, you know, we just want to get the word out because we want to have a good crowd, and we want to be able to make sure that people understand.
Is there an opportunity to have Stephen Angelos's kids come and record it for you? At the high school?
Sure. I don't have a problem with that.
Not, I mean, but to.
I can check.
What's that? Yeah.
I can check with them.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just such an incredible opportunity
Yeah.
for people that can't get out. There's a lot of seniors and stuff that,
yeah.
they'll watch it on Facebook, but right, they don't want to leave their house.
Yeah, I can definitely check in with them and see. And, you know, yeah, I don't have a problem with it being recorded.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you leave some of your flyers at some of the senior homes in Zion, like Carmel House and?
No, but I can,
Put like a flyer in the lobby there. They
Mhm.
have, I think, a news board.
Mhm.
Probably get more people too, that would help them.
okay.
Well, but they don't.
But they don't own.
They don't pay property taxes.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I know what you're saying. I can't put them in other places.
They may know people that own,
Mhm.
they have family that.
I
mean,
go over
I don't
there.
have a problem
I
putting.
think this Friday I go to Carmel House and I'll bring it to them and let them know and ask them
Okay.
to invite people.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem putting it in other spots as well, you know. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Spots so they hang out.
Accessories.
Yeah, that's all that I have. Yes, sir.
Can you, well, two things, I guess. Can you talk a little bit about that factor coming down, like what was done to help achieve that? And what is that impact to tax-paying residents?
So, part of when we are, what we do when we're assessing is we have to, put everything on our books that has value. So when people get work done to their property, if you add a deck, if you add an extra room, you know, a lot of people are doing renovations and things like that. So those things that they've done to the property, we add that value on our books. And then there are people who tear their deck down and say, I don't want a patio, I don't want a deck anymore. If you let us know via getting a permit, then we know and we take that off. So they don't have to be taxed for that anymore. So those types of things we're constantly doing all year long. That's why we do a lot of field work. That's why we're, you know, we look at the sales, we look at all of the different avenues and revenues that will give us some resources that will help provide us with that information. And so the more you add on of what somebody has added to their property to bring value, those things take away from the bridge in the gap of the sales ratios, right? Because we have a lot of sales that are coming in, so the values are going, you know, the sales ratios are usually bigger because our values have been so much lower. And so we're bridging those gaps when these, you know, when the sales come in, because the sales are so much more, and the values are low. We need to make sure that we are bridging those gaps so that we can get our factor down. Because let me back up. So we get a tentative factor at the beginning of the year, and then once we've done all our work and we turn our books in, then the county will say, okay, this is your final factor. You've added all this value on, you know, any value that needs to be taken off is taken off, and here's what you're left with. So, you know, all these different avenues of being able to put that value on helps with that factor. And then that's less of a increase in the value that other people are having to have as a burden, because
Got it.
we're making everybody be responsible for their portion, their increase. When people don't get permits done and they get work done, if we don't discover it, then we don't know it. So they're not paying taxes on what they got as an improvement on their property. So that means that everybody else is really kind of paying their portion, because, you know, if you think about it, somebody has something that they should be paying for and they're not paying for it, then everybody else is paying that. So when you're adding that value on, you're helping everybody to be, for it to be spread across evenly and fairly. And so that's what we're doing every year, is we're trying to make sure that we're making sure our books are right, the values are on there, and that everybody is paying for what they have.
So is it safe to say, to make sure I'm understanding it, so based on the field work that your team is doing and the levies that we put forward as boards, the field work that you're doing is creating a more equalized, fair value across all of our homes? And
Correct.
that increased value is getting us to our levy amount sooner and more efficiently and more equally.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more.
Yes, sir.
And this may be for next meeting, but we're approaching that time where different entities file their exemptions. Is that something that we are appealing again this year?
Non-homestead exemptions?
With the state
Or-
nonprofit?
Yes. So yes, they have until, I want to say, the end of September. It's usually mid or end of September when they have. I haven't even received a notification. I haven't received any notifications that anybody has filed, but I will get those notifications. But I hadn't even looked to see exactly when the deadline is. But usually it's like mid or late September.
But your office will be notified?
I will be notified of anything. Yes.
Thank you.
Trust me, we got our eyes and ears open.
Well, thank you. Great
You're
work.
welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you. We were excited. If anybody was over on this side of City Hall.
Any idea?
Thunder?
It's not.
No, that was
It's something
static.
in the microphone.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, right?
All right, if there's nothing
Sorry,
else.
my stomach.
Okay, item 12, supervisor's report. So I have the monthly report, incoming calls, the services that we've been able to provide. Just to say that my team, like, the calls are coming in left and right for people that are in need for financial assistance. So as of yesterday, we were, I think, they caught up. They had like 10 more calls that came in to work with residents on emergency assistance, and it's been a lot. And then
Do we have an idea if it's like layoffs are starting to hit?
they
or-
said that it's actually, there's no pinpointable correlation, that it's all kinds of different stuff. So, and then looking at the supervisor's report, on Friday, August 1st, we wrapped up the 2025 summer work program with the celebratory cookout. Each participant received a certification of completion, along with special recognition from our state senator Mary Adley Allen and state representative Joyce Mason. 33 youth successfully completed the program. Through a partnership with Lake County Digital Growth Initiative, all participants received a free laptop as an incentive for successfully completing the program. They also took a 6-hour class, a computer class, before they received those. 7 interns were nominated for Employee of the Year in recognition of their exceptional contributions. This year's winners are Envy Johnson and Brandon Williams. Congratulations to them both. And we had so many incredible workers this year. Like, every year I do a couple of projects with them, and every year I want to beat my head against a wall. This year I actually had so much fun. I mean, they helped with the community garden. They helped with some other projects. It was just really, it was so good. My staff actually gave the credit to, this was the second year that we raised the age to 16. So we have 14 to 16-year-olds, and we think that having the 16-year-olds that are just a little bit more mature raises the standard for the younger kids to act a little bit different. That's what we were thinking. So, yeah, it's pretty, so a big thank you to all the youth workers, the mentors, the supervisors whose hard work and dedication made this summer a success. Zion Township and our community are fortunate to have them. And it was fun this weekend at the Zinnian Monarch Festival. This guy came up to us that's this incredible artist, and he said, "You're Sherry Neal, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I just want to thank you." I was like, "You want for what?" He was like, "You were my first job." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yes, I remember you coming up and talking to me on my first day of the job, and it's made all the difference." And now he's a music teacher in Waukegan. And just so it was cool. We get one every once in a while. We keep talking about wanting to have a reunion with any kid that was in the summer work program, because we put, at least in my tenure, over 1,000 kids through the summer work program. So, and Truman started it before me, so it's been going for a long time. But before me, the kids just cut grass, so it was a crew of kids, and Rich Oates and Steve. We know Steve. Steve, his brother's an artist. The sculptures did. Come on, Nemi.
Oh, Steve Neve?
Jack Nemi. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, sorry, Steve, I'm forgetting your name. If you ever see this, yeah, you too. But anyway, so they did the cutting for the city. And then when I got elected, I checked to make sure that everything was kosher. And it turns out that not only were they insured, that you had to be 18 to run a lawnmower, or an older age, not for our kids. It could have been 16 or 17. So that's when we changed it and started doing the other projects, Adapt Highway and different things. So it's been a long, but we're really proud of it. And Lake County showcases our community as the community that does the best job with the summer work program. So we're really proud of that. And actually, Envy, the winner, was yes.
She was my intern.
Oh my, you were so. I interviewed her, and I was like, man, whoever gets this kid is going to be so blessed, and you were.
She was, yes.
So,
she was incredible.
She was at the festival helping with ROTC this weekend, so I got to hang with her. Yeah, it was very cool. So, and then we also, Zion Township hosted the inaugural Resources and Donuts Community Resource Fair on August 2nd. Successes included Swalco collecting 1,540 pounds of confidential documents papers, thanks to the partnership with Senator Mary Edley Allen and County Board Rep Gina Roberts. Many residents getting help from the Illinois Tollway with their iPass and the kids' IDs. Plus, the township team was able to connect with the community. A number of neighbors were especially grateful to tour Zion Township and have access to so many resources. A team of firefighters were also grateful to take a tour of the office. They were some of the newbies and they'd never been in, so they were really glad to know. And then just to say we're able to honor Felicia Lewis at the event with a plaque that will be hanging in the lobby at Zion Township. And just to read it out loud, in memory and gratitude of Felicia Lewis, a fierce advocate, courageous leader, and true champion for accessibility. Even with a unique set of challenges, Felicia lived without limits, lifting others, speaking truth, and breaking barriers. Her determination opened doors both literally and figuratively, making Zion more inclusive and accessible for all. Her disability did not define or confine her, it was her superpower. Her legacy lives on through the Zion Beyond Barriers Coalition, inspired by her unwavering belief that everyone matters and deserves to belong, be seen, and be heard. Felicia's passion and perseverance touched countless lives across Zion, Lake County, and Kenosha County. We are profoundly grateful for the gift of her voice, her vision, and the lasting change she made, especially in making Zion Township accessible to all. And so that plaque will be hanging in Zion Township. And because the front doors were literally her request and helping us to recognize that it wasn't okay. And everybody that comes in appreciates it, because nobody's got to try and pull the door while carrying stuff. It just opens for them. So really grateful. So then also the ZT team participated in the Global Leadership Summit again this year to continue to build their leadership. Much was gained from the different incredible presenters during this two-day event. And I just want to say this is the one event that I haven't had to in a couple of years, because I have a couple of staff that stay back and they actually watch it and keep the office open. But it's the one event that I truly believe it's worth it to shut the office for if they all wanted to go, because the ROI that has been on my team believing that they're all leaders in their own right has been substantial with the work that we've been able to do. And so also the fourth annual, it was our fifth annual, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it was. Fifth annual Zinnian Monarch Festival in Bees 2 was held. And I just want to give a major shout out to Sandra Usher for the work that she did with this program. It's got so much information in here for the community, including an event that's coming up, our Lagoon Glow, which will be taking place September 6th. If anybody's interested in that, it's where we take wood squares that have like a little box around it, and you can decorate the box in honor or memory of somebody, and then they all float out. Last year was our first time doing it. We did not realize that the Shiloh Center lights automatically go on and we didn't know how to turn them off, so it kind of put a little bit of a kibosh on the glow of the lights, but we figured it out for this year, so that was one thing. And then the other thing was the lanterns all like floated to the sides to where the rocks were. We're working on like figuring out how to have them more central this year, so baby steps to make it something. But would love to see you there, and you can do there's a QR code there to be able to reserve your lantern. And then, let me just see, Summit Festival, but just the festival was so phenomenal, again this year, and I was really frustrated. I'm still trying to figure out a way to do it, but being able to get a number count, because I am sure we topped the 2,000 we had the last 2 years, because Sunday was packed, and there wasn't a parking place to be had. It was amazing. And it's funny, because when we decided to move from the boulevard across from the post office over to the band shell, I was so frustrated. I'm like, it's too big. The one thing my dad always said was, make sure you have a smaller room than people, because if it's too big, it doesn't look like anybody's there, and people will feel like it wasn't successful. And that space is just so huge. It's so huge. I was like, it's never gonna go. It's never gonna go. And we needed every inch of the space this year. We had 75 vendors. We had 13 food vendors at the end, right?
And a petting zoo.
A petting zoo, yeah. It was just it was just such an incredible event, and yeah. And now we have all this stuff going on. I've got the team up front that's doing emergency assistance and general assistance, but Sandra has to do all the finances, all of the business stuff. Plus she does the IT. Plus she does the HR, and now she's doing all the marketing. She's overseeing all of the websites, all of the printing. She does the Zion Quarterly. Yeah, I don't know how she's doing it, and yeah, it's amazing. So I'm really, really grateful for the work that you're doing, for my whole team, that we're able to pull this off. It just blows my mind. And then I talked about the Lagoon Glow, but Zion Township will be participating in the Labor Day Parade with the newly wrapped Township truck. I want to give a formal shout out to Bottom Line Innovators for sponsoring the wrapping of the truck. So that will be, and then we've got Miss Cornerstone. She has a title, Bella Massimo. She's actually coordinating and chairing the team that is putting together the float for that. And I think that's all I have. And just to say out loud, two things. One, the zinnias at City Hall, are they not beautiful out there? I cannot believe how they came up. Those were all from seed, and today was the first day I got to see it, so I'm really, really impressed with that. And then the other thing that we need to bring up, Colette, is CBLA. You want to talk a little bit about CBLA? Do we have like any last final push for anybody, or are we done? Or
We have 7 candidates, or applicants, and we're starting on November the 8th. It's a Monday. September the 8th, and it'll be for 3 hours from 6 to 9, and it's usually every other week, and then we will celebrate them with the graduation November, the first Saturday in November. So we are excited about, the up and coming leaders that will, be in this class. It's a good range. I think the youngest one may be like 19 or 20, and then, on up to very mature people. And but we'll take, each and every one that wants to be a part of the program. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we're always looking for people to volunteer, to mentor, to help out, with the sessions. You can give us a call. You can go on the site www.zbla.info, and there's actually information and application out there for mentors. So, yeah.
Awesome. And I heard a rumor that Jaquanda Nelson is gonna come back and help with CBLA.
She's definitely looking to, start an initial process. I'm not gonna commit her to anything else, but she's at least gonna help out with the interviewing process.
So I met Jaquanda Nelson at a city council meeting. She came and she was talking about something and I was so blown away by her. It was the very first year of ZBLA and I went over to her. I was like, okay, you have to do this. And she and Colette did it together the very first year.
Mhm.
And it's because of them that it's continued to be as successful as it is. They have carried the flame for the torch. You
Right.
carried the whole torch, right, for all these years, since 2012.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Where are they gonna meet on September 8th?
At September the 8th, it will be at Sherry's house. You're
Is that
doing
at my
the-
house?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
I was wondering that
mixer.
too.
So the first class the first session that we're having is what we call a mixer, where everyone gets to meet each other and we have a little fun group activity for them to do, and it's usually at Sherry's house, yes. 'Cause
More
we
than
want-
welcome to come. Anybody's welcome.
Remind me your address.
1407 20th Street. World.
Everybody
Everybody knows
right
it anyway. It's not like I can hide it.
It's not like
Yeah.
people don't already know. Yeah, and we have refreshments and things, and we
What time?
at 6
Six.
o'clock. Mm-hmm. Usually 6 to 8 or 8:30ish.
You look for high school.
It's no. This is the adult session. Yes, this is the adult
The
session.
school is in
Mhm.
February.
The students are in February, the entire month of February, every Saturday in February. Mm-hmm. 8th through 12th grades for the students.
Awesome.
Yep.
Is there anything else to come before the town board this evening? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Stackhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye.